So I think I'll start with the goal of a recipe. And to me, the goal of a recipe is to take a creative idea and replicate it out in the world. And so to do that effectively, there has to be a set of instructions and directions that one, people can understand when they read, and two, can be consistent regardless of who makes it. There's no like dash of salt or like dash of pepper in a test kitchen. It's like, is it a quarter teaspoon pepper? You kind of have to get a measurement for everything. Right. So growing up, my mom worked for Cadbury's Chocolates in Nigeria. She was a research and development manager. I grew up around that, and I grew up like meeting my mom at work. There were always these like huge bags of candy that was like for research, and I could never understand why we couldn't eat it. But my mom's like, it's for research, and it's like, what's this research? What's this research thing? And so when I moved here, I realized that you could go to school to be a chef, and I thought that like blew my mind. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. I was like, I'm going to work in food, but I'm going to do it the cool way. Like I'm going to be a chef and like sling knives. Mainly the glamour part of being a chef. That was what I was attracted to. And so I was working at Momofuku Milk Bar, actually, when it just opened. It's like one of the like first 6 or 7 employees, I can't remember. And so recipe development was a huge part of working there. Interesting. And I remember thinking, like, this works for me. Because I got to Milk Bar, and it was like, this croissant this recipe that's 100 years old, like, let's fuck with it. Let's add some, like, fucking kimchi in the butter. Let's add some miso in the dough. Let's see how far we could push the limits of these ratios and have it still work and have it still be a good product. And I appreciated that because it gave me some flexibility, but I also appreciated like coming up in like the classic pastry way where it gave me like a foundation. That I slowly just like inched my way out of restaurants and fully embraced recipe testing. You want precision because you want to share it with people. I want you to be able to cook my cardamom loaf bread in your San Francisco oven and have it taste the same as when I cook it in my Brooklyn kitchen, and have it taste the same as like my mom cooking it in her Lagos kitchen. Recipes are like a story of hidden in like a set of instructions almost, and I could go on a trip to like wherever for like Zimbabwe for like 2 weeks or something like that, and come back, and the memory of that trip would exist for me in a recipe.